All right, we're recording. So we got Cade from Plant-Based Pumps on Instagram. We got Julien from PlantsFormed, two of the vegan homie lifters. How you guys doing?
I'm good. Yeah.
Good.
Good.
All right, cool. So we're gonna talk about like supplements and like PEDs and controversial vegan fitness news and whatnot. So yeah, I guess let's start talking about it.
Mm.
What do you guys take for any supplements or anything right now, if any?
Well, I guess I'll start.
Yeah.
Me,
You just want to like go in a circle? Like you can, Julian, you can start first and then go to Cade and back to me or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, I guess I take protein powder.
Yeah.
I don't take it consistently, so if I need to meet my protein goals for the day, I'll take protein powder. So I take that. Right now I'm taking creatine because I'm trying to reach certain goals in the gym, like strength goals.
Mhm.
So creatine, and then besides that, it's just a vitamin D3 supplement and B12.
Right.
So
Yeah, and we talked about that when like we interviewed you,
yeah.
what supplements you were taking, and you said vitamin D, especially because like darker skinned people don't absorb vitamin D as much, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
And that's pretty much all you take, just those few things.
yeah, those four things. So yeah.
Cool. What about you, Cade?
Yeah. No, I'm literally probably on the exact same regimen in terms of supplements.
Yeah.
I take a plant-based protein powder. And especially right now, like trying to lose a little bit of weight, that's really just because I've been making like double scoop protein shakes at night just to make sure I don't wait hungry. Because for me, like I was so used to eating like 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day. Right now, I'm trying to eat more foods that will keep me fuller for longer periods of time. So definitely the protein powder is one. I was taking a vitamin B supplement, but I've drank like 3 different types of plant-based milk, and I know a lot of that plant-based milk is actually fortified with vitamin B.
Mm-hmm.
Bought the vitamin B supplement in like the last 3 to 4 months at this point.
Yeah.
And then other than that, yeah, I was taking creatine. I haven't taken creatine either in probably like a few months at this point. But
Really?
yeah, for strength purposes, I would definitely, when I'm really trying to push it, like I'll take creatine. And not like it's a magic a pill or anything, but
Yeah. I mean, it's just like a little
exactly.
boost. Yeah. So
Dude, I've been taking creatine for like 5 or 6 years.
like consistently, you're still on it right now, right?
Always, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, I have never stopped taking creatine in like 5 years.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like people say it doesn't. Some people think it makes you hold water when you're on a cut, or like in all honesty, I've just been too lazy and haven't bought it because obviously with whole coronavirus going to the supplement store, I could just order it online, but
Yeah.
kind of been like the last thing on my mind. So it's just
True.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice a big difference with creatine?
I mean, it's really hard to say. I feel like I've never tracked it strictly enough to the point where you're like, okay, I'm taking creatine for these 4 months. This is what I'm doing in the gym versus like another 4-month period where I'm not taking it. Like it's hard to. I haven't really noticed like a huge difference in terms of strength for me, but that, like I said, I've also never been like extremely dedicated to tracking it during certain cycles of like strength training or anything like that. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Julian, what about you? Do you notice a big difference?
I don't know. For me, it's I guess like my strength goes up, but I'm also like bumping my calories when I'm taking it usually. So
Right.
like I don't know how much of a difference it's making, like just the creatine specifically. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm also with you. I feel like I'm usually bulking too or something. Or I mean, I've also been taking it for so long, so
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you. I feel like it'd be a placebo thing, if anything, at this point, if I just stopped taking it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But if anything, it probably really helps you, like, would like add maybe 5 pounds or something to the bar? Like, it's not like a miracle thing.
Yeah, I'd say like 5 pounds or so. So
Yeah,
I take it mostly for bench.
right. What protein powder do you guys take?
I was
You go. Yeah.
oh, yeah, I was using the Garden of Life one for a while. I don't know if you guys have ever used that.
I got free samples right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
My
Yeah.
sister gets a bunch of plant-based protein powder because the she's like a nanny, I guess, and she gets a bunch of just leftovers from their family, and like the family she nannies for is mostly plant-based, I guess, and they're into fitness, so they have a bunch of just protein powder they just give me.
wow.
Nice.
It's pretty funny.
So you're basically sponsored.
Yeah, but without actually being sponsored.
Free protein. Lucky.
Yeah. Yo, True Nutrition. I'm all about True Nutrition.
Yeah. I still haven't tried it. I'll try it one of these days. But I take Orgain.
Organ? Oh yeah, you said that
yeah,
before.
yeah. But yeah.
You like that one?
Yeah, like
Cheap or something?
it's cheap and I really like the taste. So like there's no point in me switching. So I was just like, okay, let me just stick with it. So
yeah, my whole thing is just like going for the cheapest stuff that I can buy in bulk. So True Nutrition, I buy like damn near 10 pounds at a time.
Yeah.
Just keep it. Because if you go above 7 pounds, I think they give you like 5% off. Yeah.
Nice.
Ripple, I don't know if you guys have tried. I actually picked up this. You guys know like Ripple milk, the pea.
Yeah.
Milk. They make protein powder, and I gotta say that's probably the best tasting chocolate one that I've had yet.
They make protein powder, Ripple?
Yeah, it was. It was brand new at the grocery store I go to. It was in like the pharmacy section, and I'm walking by and I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, does that say Ripple? But I tried it out, and it tastes like just like the milk, especially if you use just like an almond, like an unsweetened almond breeze or something, or even water. I tried it with water, but the taste was like definitely a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Damn. Yo, I'm with you with buying the silk nut milk protein stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like 10 grams of protein.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
Yeah,
wait, silk nut milk?
Yeah. It's like protein nut milk, they call it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like 10 grams of protein, I think like 100 calories or something. Is it more than that? Maybe more.
Oh.
I think it's like something like that.
Okay.
I
think I've seen I think I've seen like images of it online, but like not actually in store. So.
Dude, I saw it at Whole Foods for like a month, and I was buying it like every time I went to the grocery store, and then it was just never there again. So
is it expensive?
I think it was like $5 in New York at least, which isn't really that bad.
It's not that bad because Good Karma, like
Black's milk.
It's like $5, I think, 5 or 6. So.
Yeah, I think it's like the same price, and that's like 8 grams of protein, and like is that like 100 calories, or is that even less?
No, it's like 60. It's like 60.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah.
The protein nut milk.
Yep. Very interesting labeling.
Dude, I feel like I'll never grow up about laughing about that a little bit.
It's hard not to.
So what supplements do you guys think are just complete trash? Like mostly everything else?
Yeah, basically everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't really take pre-workout because you could take natural pre-workouts just like coffee or something.
Yeah.
And I don't really like stimulants.
Yeah. I'm on the coffee train for sure.
Yeah.
Coffee or espresso.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I drink I usually have 8 cups in the morning before work, and then like if I'm really needing another one, I'll just throw another one in before I work out. But I don't think I've worked out since like high school.
Oh, wait, what did you say? I missed that.
No, I don't think I've taken a pre-workout since high school. Like I'm definitely on train too. I can't.
Yeah, I've been lifting for like 10 years now, and I remember back in the day they had this stuff called Craze, and it was the first pre-workout I ever got. Kid, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I got that back in the day, and it got banned because it had like some weird, I forget what it was. It was like some crazy something like thing they put in there, and they banned it. But I remember taking it one time. It was like a half a scoop the first time I ever took anything, and I was like, yo, I feel like I'm on crack right now.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I'm like always cautious about pre-workouts because some of them get banned, and like you hear, like I've heard stories from friends where they knew somebody that took this certain pre-workout and then it got banned, and then like they had like a heart attack or cardiac arrest or something. So
Wow. Was that one of your friends?
well, yeah. So one of my friends took something,
Ugh, jeez.
and he had like, well, the thing is, he was also like I think testing out steroids, so like that could have been something too. But like after he took that pre-workout, like a few hours later, like he had like a cardiac arrest or something like
Was he
that.
young?
So, I think he's like a year younger than me. So yeah,
What?
yeah,
That's insane, man.
yeah. So it's
That must
crazy.
have been some crazy stuff.
Like Jacked 3D. I remember that was like the one when I was in high school. The one we take.
I've heard of that.
That's yeah. And you never know. I feel like they've gotten better with it, but you never know what they're really putting in some of that stuff sometimes.
Mm.
Like they'll have the proprietary blends or whatever. I don't know if they still do this because I don't drink pre-workout at all anymore, but they used to do that, and they used to just list a bunch of ingredients, and a lot of them were just weird chemicals, and you like your average person would probably just be like, not even look at the ingredient label probably actually.
Yeah.
And then they have like derivatives of methamphetamines in there.
Mm.
So besides pre-workout, what do you guys like? What else is completely overrated? What do you think about beta-alanine or anything?
Yeah, I don't take that either.
Yeah.
I tried beta alanine for like when I was in my bro phase, and it was just like all it made me do is want to scratch my face. Like I feel like that's I don't. It's hard to say. Like a lot of those the supplements too that they have on the market, it's like a lot of those don't even have studies to really necessarily back the claims that they're making the supplements will have for the user.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's so much of it is honestly just kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I totally agree, dude. I feel like supplements are so overhyped in general. Like, if anything, you'll get maybe what 1% benefit, if that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think it's easier to sell too. Like a lot of people, if you tell someone no, like if you're eating twice a day, if you want to like put on 10 pounds, you got to eat 4 to 5 times a day. You have to sleep 2 more hours, and you have to train for like an extra hour and train heavier in the gym. Like it's a lot easier to say, oh no, just take this supplement, and you're gonna
Yeah,
look
for
like
sure.
a guy in muscle and fitness. Like it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, exactly.
it's all just for marketing in my perspective. But
Yeah, and people just want that magic pill, you know. Like weight loss supplements make tons of money.
yeah,
'Cause everyone wants to lose weight, but no one wants to put in the work.
Mm.
I think
mean-
the one thing that I have been taking a little bit over the past like 6 months that I incorporated is beetroot powder and citrulline malate before workouts for like more like nitric oxide pump action.
You got me on that.
It's good, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like the pumps definitely feel better. So
Yeah, you just look a little bigger too.
yeah, yeah. Take them on my upper body days. So
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, like that extra pump, it kind of motivates you. You just feel
it does.
better.
It does. That's why I take it.
Yeah, it's totally like bro science, but whatever,
Yeah.
it works.
Oh wait,
it?
so yeah, is that
Oh,
a
no.
supplement? Sorry.
Beetroot powder?
I guess would that be considered like a like we're talking about supplements still, right?
I'd call that a supplement. I mean, you could eat
Okay.
just whole beets, but I mean, I fucking hate beets, so I'm not gonna
Yeah.
for like beetroot powder, I have to take it as a shot. It's disgusting.
Yeah. I don't mind beets, but
Yeah, I don't know. I can't do it.
You buy like the citrulline malate and the beetroot powder separate, or do you have like is it like one company that makes a combination of the two?
No, I buy it separate from bulksupplements.com.
Okay.
And like you can get just different sizes, and they just sell it in like generic bags, so it's super
Yep.
cheap. And I just get, I don't know, like a pound bag or something maybe, or whatever, for because I do 10 grams of beetroot powder and 8 grams of citrulline malate, and I only do it before like a high volume day or like a bodybuilding day, and that's it. But it's cheap. It's like $18 for a big bag for each of it, really.
Yeah.
But I haven't found anybody who sells it together, and I feel like the two together, they work amazingly.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, if you're about, dude, I mean, you're plant-based pumps. Like, you got to be getting those
That's
pumps,
true.
man.
Back up, yeah. This seems like an option.
There's I've taken beta alanine here and there, and I feel like I never really benefited from that too much. I think that's overhyped. I think a lot of the cutting stuff is overhyped, like green tea extract. I've tried some of that. Like,
I mean,
just
just green tea in general would be like good for cutting because it's like healthy, but it's not really.
yeah,
It's not really a supplement. Like just taking
yeah.
green.
I guess you wouldn't really call green tea a supplement, but I have
Yeah.
seen like some evidence that green tea is good for just like losing fat.
Mhm.
I couldn't like quote it right now, but I've seen like some studies about that. I don't really know. I don't. I feel like just being a caloric deficit is your best bet. When
Yeah.
like doing more cardio.
Mhm.
Yeah. What do you guys think about SARMs? Nothing?
I'm not a fan of them. I wouldn't take them. So
Yeah. I wonder if it I feel like a lot of people got on that for a while. Like the whole because it was coming out and everyone was like, oh, like it's a healthier form of steroids or something.
Yeah, I think like I don't think enough people know. I think it's in such. I forget. I was watching some and someone was talking what they're used. They're used for some type of patient with some like a disease. I want to say it's something related to like um, bone health, something like that.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong, but the studies even for that, like the reason they're intended or prescribed, there haven't even been conclusive studies. So I think it's such a new compound or whatever you want to classify it as that people
Yeah.
don't even know like what the repercussions of using it are at this point. So you see one person that gets good results and now everyone's jumping on the train, but they don't know how it's going to work like a year later, 2 years later, 5 years later. So I think that's what's kind of sketchy about it is there's just not really conclusive evidence about what the repercussions of using it are.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
And it's weird right now because it's in that gray area where it's not banned yet, but
Mhm.
there's a lot of evidence that like it still causes like LDL cholesterol to go up and like HDL cholesterol plummets and like people go, I think there was one that I was reading about, I forget which one, but like people were getting vision problems from it and like they couldn't see sometimes or something.
Yeah.
Like there's crazy side effects with some of that stuff.
I feel like I'd rather just take steroids than take SARMs if that because like more people take steroids I would think so there's more evidence of what the side effects would be and how it would affect your body.
Yeah.
But with SARMs I think it's like more out there, so
Yeah, I
if I were
totally
to
agree.
take something. So
Yeah. I would totally be with you there because yeah, like you guys are both saying, I mean, it's like an experimental supplement, right? Or I don't even know if you call it a supplement, really.
it's
It's like an
really a
experimental drug.
supplement. Yes, it's a drug.
Yeah. And like at least they know for what, since the like the 50s, 1950s, people were doing steroids, like injecting steroids and taking like Arnold and all those guys, like popping like D-ball pills and stuff. And I mean, at least they know the science behind that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So
Yeah.
Yeah, this said that they're used for people who are suffering disease-related muscle loss. So that's kind of where it comes in. And then someone that already muscle is like, oh, I want to try these out and see if I can get more. So
Yeah.
yeah.
There's this one channel I follow on YouTube called More Plates, More Dates, and he just talks about like all the pharmacology of like steroids and like SARMs and stuff and like all this experimental supplements. And he just brings up some really weird studies and such sometimes, like just crazy health detriments from those things. And it's scary stuff, man. I personally would never mess with it just because I'm more worried about health overall. But I don't know.
Like
Everyone,
SARMs in general or just
either.
steroid? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to get more jacked, but I would personally never do either. Unless, the only thing I would do is if I'm like, when I turn like 40 or something, maybe I'll get on like HRT,
That's the
like
only
doctor
yeah,
prescribed HRT.
yeah,
If I was like low in testosterone at that age, but
yeah.
yeah. What
Yeah.
about you guys?
yeah, no, I think that I mean the way I look at it is like working out just because you like working out. Like if you're not a professional athlete or you're not someone that's like an actor who needs to appear in like 5 movies a year and you need to be in like a superhero movie or something like that, I just don't think it's really worth the risk. Like, the risk reward doesn't really make sense to me, because it's like, why, for something that you like doing, are you going to make a sacrifice? Because the way I look at it is, once you're on either SARMS or gear, you're going to be dependent on that for the rest of your life. Because if you go from 100 pounds to 230 pounds peeled, ripped to the bone, you'll never physically want to not look like that again, and mentally kind of take a step back from that peak, like, will destroy most people. So I just think it just doesn't make sense. At least for, like, in my perspective, it's just not something I could ever get behind. It's
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. Like, if I'd never take steroids or SARMs, because if I were to get like crazy results, I'd have to stay on them, because if I were to get off, I'd just like shrink, and that would be bad for like my mental health. I'd be like, oh shit, like I looked so good before, what happened? So I don't know, I could never do it. And plus the health effects. Like I went vegan for the animals, but then also like the health benefits was like a close second. So I'd never really be able to do that. So
Yeah, I don't like the idea of being reliant on something like that just to hold muscle.
for years.
Yeah, you'd have to be injecting, like, first of all, I would never want to inject myself with needles that often. That would be terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I know I have tattoos and stuff, but like thinking about giving myself needles like bi-weekly or whatever they do, I mean, or even more, I guess. That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I completely get it for athletes, though. Like, I played basketball till my junior year of college, and it's like the toll that can take on your body. Like, even football players, like, I get it, especially like people that are willing to risk their bodies and perform at like the tip-top tier levels. Like, I understand that there has to be some type of like drug use that goes on just to give them some type of longevity in their sport.
Yeah, for recovery.
Yeah. Exactly. So even that's how, whenever you hear like someone getting banned for like an illegal substance, I mean, it's one thing if it's like a recreational drug, but like when they're banning them for like steroid use or human growth hormone, I'm just like, really? Like, it's, I don't know. For me, I think it should just be an open playing field. Like, if you're at that level and I also have to think of it from the standpoint, like, they probably have the best doctors in the world, like, once you're a professional athlete. So it's not like they're just shooting these guys up with compounds that they have no idea what they are. So I don't know. I think it should be kind of allowable at that type of level. But
so, like, for the Olympics and stuff, you would say it should just be legal
for like professional athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, and I guess it's sport dependent too. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a sport that might not be like, I don't know if beach, I don't want to like offend anyone, but like, I don't know, beach volleyball might not be on the same level as like a NFL season, you know what I mean? So
dude, you don't want a bunch of like jacked up like bodybuilders playing volleyball.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think it could be sport. I guess it could be sport specific, but I think there's definitely room for it in some sports nonetheless.
Yeah.
I mean, I see no reason to hop on steroids if you're doing it like just to look better and you're not like a professional bodybuilder or anything, or in a professional sport, because you're just doing it to look good. Like, I don't think the effects on your health are worth it, like, at that point. So
what if it makes you, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year?
Well, I'm saying, so if that were the case, I'd be like, okay, maybe it's worth it. But like, if you're just like, if you're a normal guy like you and me, like all of us, I feel we're not competing or anything. I don't think it'd really be worth it at that point. So
yeah, I agree. There was something I was just gonna say. I'm totally spacing out on now. Oh, you know what? So, Cade, just off your point with just like having a lot of sports actually legalize steroid use, do you think there would be like a natty division 2 for everything?
Yeah, I don't know if that'd be, I mean, I guess, like I said, it depends on the sport, but like, I'm just thinking of like the NBA where they have an 82 game season. I don't know how they could, and everyone's on a team. Like, I don't know, something like that, they could really have a natty and a not natty division. Same thing with football. I'm just trying to like NHL, even MLB, like I don't really know how they could really like break that up or create subgroups of natty and not natty. But I think powerlifting, they do it. They have tested and not tested. I don't know any other sports off the top of my. I mean, I follow powerlifting, so it's the only reason I know that. But I'm sure there's other like, I don't know if strongman has the same thing, or even like CrossFit. I'm not really sure what like the testing procedures are on that, but I feel like it could be a good idea in certain. I mean, like I said, that's what powerlifting does. So it could definitely work in other genres of sports if they allowed it. So
I'm not gonna lie, I'd much rather watch like enhanced. I don't know, like anything in the Olympics. I'd much rather watch the enhanced stuff, just because that stuff would be
They're
crazy.
like superhuman. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like real life Captain America stuff or something.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So,
Would you guys ever take like TRT if you were prescribed it when you're older?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I would. I mean,
I think I would too. If I was if I needed it and it was prescribed by a doctor, I'd probably take it.
Yeah.
I think it would suck to have to give yourself. I think they have like gels too, but it would suck to have to give yourself needles all the time for the rest of your life just to feel healthy. But I mean, if it makes your life that much better, I would support it.
Yeah, if I needed it, I'd take it.
Yeah.
But, like I wouldn't take any drug recreationally.
Yeah, I totally
like
agree.
enhancing drug. So
if I'm like 45 or something or 40 and my levels were super low and I just felt like shit, I would definitely take it. But I would probably try to avoid it my whole life just because I think it would just suck to have to take that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree with that.
Yeah. So yeah, let's what do you guys think about just generally like steroids in the fitness industry and everything? We kind of touched on it a little bit, but like I guess like all the fake natties and stuff out there. I don't know, you think it's like an issue? Do you think it gives people too much hope? Like your average young bodybuilder looking at like Mike O'Hearn and like thinking they're gonna be like that.
I mean, I don't have a problem if people that are clearly on something just don't say anything, and they're just like they're taking something. But if the problem I have is when they claim that they're natural, and they're and they clearly are not. Like people that have been working out for years know that they aren't, but the people that are just starting out are just like, oh yeah, that's attainable. It's not. So
when
I
first started off, I thought that Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff was natural. Like I don't know if you guys did, but I had high hopes, man. I thought I was gonna be 220 pounds and peeled.
I don't know about that for me, but like some of the online influencers, I thought they were natural, and they clearly aren't. So
sometimes it's hard to tell that line.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely genetic freaks out there.
Simian panda.
Yeah, for sure. There's some that are like more obvious than others, but
if you eat 20 duck eggs a day, you can look like Mike O'Hearn even at 50 years old. So
you got to buy the frog too.
Got to get the.
I love how it's just like a glorified ab wheel or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's $1,000 or something, like $1,200. I'm crazy.
I wonder if that's still for sale. Because I gotta buy 5 of them. Yeah, I think there's a lot of I think there's even some fake natties going on in like the whole vegan fitness online community too, which is it's really weird to me too, because like I won't name anybody or anything, but I feel like a lot of us are so concerned about health and like trying to live, with good moral standards. It just seems so weird to be doing that and just lying to everybody. I don't know. Like it kind of makes me question almost everything about them at that point.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If they claim they're natural, then that's when I have a problem. But
that's what I mean, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then yeah.
Because I would question their morals if they're just like obviously on gear and they're just like, oh, like I'm lifetime natural, Well, it's like, what else are you lying about? Like, you know, it just makes you, this whole thing with like the Athlean-X stuff too. Like it's kind of relevant to that. Like that, the whole thing about him lying about the fake weights, then being like, I guess people are calling him out for like maybe being on TRT or something his age. I don't
Mm.
know. I get it. Like I'm just trying to like draw parallels between those two, you know.
Yeah, I used to think, yeah, I completely agree. I think if people, like, as soon as people start, who clearly aren't natural, start claiming that they are natural, and then you swipe up and you see like a link to their supplement line or like a link to their clothing line, like that's what I think is deceptive
That's
because,
sleazy.
yeah, a majority of these guys like have their following is like kids in high school to college, like 16 to 22, and they're just pushing their product on people to buy, and it's like it's completely immoral like to expect people, give them a false like hope of what they can achieve, and then just knowingly kind of lead them on this like string of lies. So I completely agree. Like I think that's what's the most toxic thing in like the fitness industry, or like the influencers who clearly aren't natural, who are saying natural and just kind of spreading their bullshit. Like that's what pisses me off most.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for more sales, basically.
Mm.
Because
Like
if you're
Brad,
going,
even though he's like super corny, he was one of the first people I started watching. But like, at least with him, I've never really heard like a video of him claiming that he's like saying that he's natural.
Wait, who?
Clearly not natural, or he's clearly, yeah, not natural, but he's not, he's also not like saying, oh yeah, guys, I'm natural, like follow what I do. So I don't even necessarily have a problem with that. As long as you're either silent or you're just not claiming the exact opposite of what you are,
Mhm.
all fine. But I think as soon as you cross that line when you say that you are, like that's where like the deceptive nature kind of like plays a role.
Who are you
So
talking about though?
Yeah, yeah.
what'd you say?
Who are you talking about?
Oh, I said Bradley Martin.
Oh,
Oh
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, that's why I have respect for him, because
Yeah.
he doesn't claim that he's natural, so.
Yeah.
Does he try to sell anything?
Oh yeah, I mean even now, like stop watching. He's been like teaming up with Nelk, and they've been doing like typical YouTube like vlog my life. But
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's just, I mean, he's good at finding whoever's relevant and then like hopping on that train for clout. But
Yeah, yeah.
it was more like fitness based. Like that's kind of like what you said, Julien. Like that's why I respected him, because he never really. Everyone knew he wasn't natural, and he wasn't claiming to be natural. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I respect him for that.
Yeah, I don't judge anybody who decided to be on steroids at all. Like, no problem with that. It's just when they start lying. And I feel like that's most people's case too.
Yeah.
Especially if they're lying to be like, oh, get on my program where you do 25 sets of biceps curls a week.
yeah.
That seems like Simeon Panda actually. I
Mhm.
think Vegan Gains called him out and was like, he like bought his program and was going through it, and it was like a bodybuilding split, and there was just like all like arms work mostly.
Mm.
That's so painful.
It just sucks because like if you're like your average like young lifter just getting into that stuff, and you see someone like Simeon Panda, you're like, oh, this guy looks great. Like I want to look like him, and you don't understand that he took probably a ton of gear to get there, and probably also has great genetics.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah.
you're like, oh, he must be training great, so I want to do his program. And he's just raking in a ton of money for a generic program, like cookie cutter programs, where he's selling
Yeah.
them for like $100 for like a Google document or whatever.
Mm. Did you guys
Yeah.
see? Have you seen the Kenny KO videos where he like goes up to him at fitness expos and basically calls him out? It's pretty funny.
Oh.
He
That's hilarious.
gets so triggered to the point. Like there was like a video of Simeon Panda at like I don't know if it was like the Arnold Fitness Expo. It was one fitness expo. I don't even remember which one, but he basically is doing like a Q&A. So there's like a small gathering of people, and Simeon Panda has the microphone, and he's like answering questions. And then there's another microphone circulating around the crowd. And then the Kenny KO, he's like a fitness YouTube guy that
Yeah,
basically
yeah, I know.
I'm sure you guys probably know who he is.
Mhm.
He basically is like, how come you're not natural? And then he just like instant trigger and like gets the security to like try to remove him. It's pretty
Oh
priceless.
my God.
There was like an old video of Vegan Gains that I watched where I think he went up to, or no, I'm thinking of something else. Someone went up to Brad Castleberry and was calling him out. He's like, "Yo, I know all your weights are fake."
Yeah, no, that was Kenny KO. I'm pretty sure that was Kenny. Yeah.
It was so funny. He got so upset. He's like,
Oh,
"Well,
but the thing is, he's always smiling. He's
Yeah.
always like he's like, oh yeah, it's like a what's this? I don't know what, I forgot what his phrase is. He's just like, oh, like
boom."
lightweight. He's like lightweight, boom, yeah. I'm just like, what the?
Yeah, I think he's just genuinely really dumb.
That's what I get from
Yeah.
him.
I kind of think I think I watched a video. I don't know. Speaking, I mean, we're talking so much about fitness influencers now. Might as well keep going. I think I watched a video from like Greg Doucette or something, and he's like, Brad Castleberry is the best actor ever.
Is he?
Did you guys ever watch that by any chance?
I never
I don't-
saw that until the Vegan Gains video with him. Like, he's like featured in it because Vegan Gains is like reviewing a video that Greg Doucette did or someone did. I don't know. But he seems kind of entertaining. I was like, I'll probably watch a couple of his videos next time I'm on his YouTube.
I hated him
Sounds
at
like-
first because I thought he was just really annoying and he had like a really crazy voice, and everyone
Yeah.
calls him out on that. But he's
Gilbert
actually really
Gottfried.
funny and pretty smart. So I like his videos.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd say
Gilbert
it's worth
Gottfried.
subscribing.
of the fitness industry.
What's that?
He's the Gilbert Gottfried of the fitness industry.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the parrot from Aladdin.
Yeah.
What other people do you guys follow? I think I was talking to Cade, and we both like Vegan Gains a lot, actually.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah.
Before I went vegan, I was like, I fucking hate this guy.
That's exactly how I thought. I was just like, oh, like look at these like fucking vegans. Oh, Vegan Gains. Like, oh, you want like Vegan Gains? I will say that he's a little bit out there, but like back then he was like way more crazy than he is now. And he I think there was a time where he said, oh, you wanted to like film his grandpa or something dying from like a heart attack or something.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, like he's so crazy. And then he called out like Furious Pete because he had cancer. He was like, oh, like you're not vegan. I was just like, wow, this guy's like a piece of shit. But then over time, I was like, he has a point. I don't know. And then eventually I started to like him.
I hated it too, because like in the back of your head, like I remember before I was vegan, everything he would say, I'm like, this motherfucker's probably right. But and, oh, he's so like arrogant. He's such a piece of shit. But like at the end, it's so funny. I watch it now and I can see like complete, like when I see all the hate comments in the bottom, I'm like, that was like me. I was never one to, but I'm like, I remember being there and being like, wow, like this guy sucks. But now I'm the first one to watch as soon as he uploads the video. Like I'm clicking on it as fast as I see it. So
yeah, I was definitely with you guys too. I didn't like him either until I went vegan.
It's so weird.
My girlfriend hates him still though, and she's also vegan, so I don't know.
I mean, I could understand where like people that hate him are coming from. So
yeah, I kind of appreciate like the abrasiveness. Like he's just so blunt too. Like that guy Joey Carbstrong you told me about, Cade. Like he's like that too, and I appreciate that too actually.
Yeah, no, I his videos, like, I don't know, I think just the way that he kind of breaks down like the whole morality of veganism and the ethics behind it, and how basically like the general gist, it's like you can't love animals like cats and dogs, and you can't claim to be an animal lover and then also have animals on your plate at the same time. So I really like that he does, like exactly like you said, he doesn't really try to comfort people. He just tells them that they're moral hypocrites or ethical hypocrites in the conveying way possible without taking it like to the next. People are like trying to get into his face or anything like that. So has happened a couple times to him.
I feel like we need people that are blunt like that, but also on the opposite end, we need people that are like a little bit more like forgiving. Just like Earthling Ed, if you guys know him.
I respect him a lot.
Yeah, because he's not just like right in your face, but just like, oh yeah, this is the situation, like, and this is why like climate change or like things are happening. So
Yeah, he always asks, like he always points out good things about what people say, and like the hypocrisy of what some people say too, like how things
yeah,
like contradict each other. I respect that though. He does things in a very nice way. I feel like where it's
like
not.
a softer way, not as just like right in your face, such as
Yeah,
like vegan gains or Joey Carb Strong.
yeah,
So that's what I like about him. But I think we need like a balance of both, because some people that could get through to them like the softer way, but like some people need it right in their face
I
for
agree.
it to affect them.
I actually met Earthling Ed. He I live in Rhode Island, and he did, I think when he was doing he does like a lot of lectures and seminars at like the Ivy League schools in the United States, and he actually came to Brown University, so I was able to like, I mean, everything he said I had already heard, but just there was only like 30 people in the room, so it was crazy because we were like, after he gave his little 30-minute spiel, we were able to just like have an open conversation, which was awesome.
Oh, nice.
I got a picture with him too, but it was literally just like the videos. Like the guy is literally the vegan Jesus, and it was so cool to be able to hear him like give the speech that you'd watch in all the YouTube videos, and it was like he was a big reason why I went vegan in the first place. So it was pretty surreal to meet him. And then it was funny because when I was leaving, I mentioned something, or he asked me something about like fitness. He's like, "Are you like a fitness person?" And I was like, "Oh, I just like I do it in the space, like it's just a hobby." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to put on a little muscle so people can't use it against me, because like obviously really skinny."
He's really skinny, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he does look a little bit bigger now, but he asked, "What's the best tip?" And I was like, "Just stay carved up." That was my
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's not his like avenue, so like I feel like people could forgive him for that, but
yeah.
So
yeah.
I like how so many vegan people though want to contradict the stereotype of being skinny though, and they're getting really into fitness overall.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool
like
to
that.
see.
Yeah. I'm trying to like, one of the reasons, like one of my motivations for like staying vegan, like I'm gonna be like vegan for life, but one of my motivations is just like I want to like get rid of the stereotype that people are skinny, like the skinny what is it, like hipster that just eats plants and yeah, I'm just trying to get rid of that stereotype. So
I know
Yeah.
like when I first started too, I remember after like the first 4 to 6 months where I was like, all right, like I feel like I got the hang of it. That's when I was like, all right, like I really want to. I'm in the same exact boat. I was like, I just want to be like, when people ask me like, oh yeah, like how much protein do you eat? Like, what do you eat? I want to be like, oh, I'm actually like, when I have that conversation with people, even now, like I was telling Ryan about this. One of my managers at my part-time jobs is just asking me. He had no idea that I was vegan. And he's like, how much protein do you get? Like, what's the best source? And I was like, oh, I'm actually vegan. And it's like the look that you get when you tell someone
I get that look all the time.
like I love that. And like, I can definitely attest to what you're saying, because I feel like stereotype of like the skinny, like goth or punk vegan that like,
yeah.
it's just, it's definitely good to kind of break that stereotype. So
yeah, for sure. Like I love the look when people just ask me like, oh, wait, like a lot of my family too, like they know that I'm vegan now, but like a year or two, they're just like, oh, like, oh, what do you eat? And then they ask like, where do you get your protein from? And then like that's where I could like teach people like that you don't just need meat to get protein. So that's what I like about that. So
Yeah, people are finally catching on to that too. Like I feel like it was really bad like years ago, and now people are kind of like, oh, you can be fit as a vegan overall, but there's still this like thing that it feels like it'll never go away, where people are always asking, where do you get your protein?
I think it's gonna be a slow process, but it's getting better, I think.
It definitely has been getting better.
So.
And eggs. I'm so sick of people talking about eggs too. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I've been seeing that argument pop up all over, and I'm just like, why do you want to eat a chicken period if you don't have to? Like, what's the point? And it's like, grams per egg. Is it really? Is that you could eat a peanut butter sandwich and get 20 grams of protein, but instead you want to eat 2 eggs and get 10 grams through a chicken menstrual cycle? Like, is that really right now?
John Venus had to go back to it, man.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, let's talk about that actually, John.
Yeah, of course.
Venus.
I feel like there's a lot to be said there.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could start with just like a bit of my history of John. Like, I don't know him personally, but just like me being vegan. So like before I went vegan, I would see like Vegan Gains' videos and like Jon Venus's videos. And when I found out like when I found Jon Venus and like he was vegan, I looked back at his older videos and I actually watched some of his older videos like a few years back, and that was before he was vegan. So it was interesting to see that like, oh, he like he transitioned to like a vegan lifestyle, and then he maintained his muscle. So I was just like, oh, that's like very interesting. And I guess it's possible to keep your muscle on a vegan diet. So he was a big motivation for me going vegan.
Me too, actually.
So.
Yeah. Him and I think it was Brian Turner. They were like the first 2 people I saw online who were like into lifting and went vegan. And I went vegan like right after both of them, I think, because I think they went around the same time. And I saw them and I was like, damn, they're like maintaining all their muscle. Like, why can't I do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Vegan Gains didn't really like he helped me a bit because I was just like, he was like pushed, I don't know, like I guess towards the end of me being like vegetarian and going vegan, I was just like, yeah, Vegan Gains is like kind of right. I agree with like 75 to 80% of what he's saying, and like Jon Venus solidified that. So yeah,
I wasn't convinced with Vegan Gains just because I feel like he was really small back then.
That's also a thing, because that was actually a video that they did together, Jon Venus and Vegan Gains, where they were both shirtless and Vegan Gains was just like a twig. So just like I was like, I don't know. Yeah. But like there's Jon Venus next to him and like he's pretty jacked, so maybe it's possible. So yeah.
Yeah, it sucks to see someone like him like just I feel like he did inspire people to go vegan. Like I know his approach was way more like, I don't know, whatever you want to say, easygoing, whatever. But it worked for some people, and he was a good example because he was probably like one of the bigger vegans who I really think is natural. And he was benching like, you know, over 300 and stuff. Like I don't know if he was never into powerlifting or anything, which is I always thought was really cool. But he was like a good bodybuilder example where I think he was natural. He didn't push it too far. Like, he wasn't competing or anything, but like he was really fit and jacked. And I think he was inspirational. Like it sucks to lose someone like that, but at the same time, like it's just such a dumb reason why he stopped. His video is terrible.
Well, the thing is, like he went, like I guess like 2 years ago, I'd be very, very surprised that he got off the vegan lifestyle because he went vegan for the animals. Well, yeah. So he says. So like most people that I see online, most influencers that go back to just eating meat, they didn't go for the animals. They went for like health, or they're just they were raw vegans. So yeah. So it's interesting. But I think he went vegan after his brother Leo went vegan.
Oh, after
that was like
really?
Okay. Right, Cade? Or do you not? Are you not sure?
Oh no, I would say his doctor brother.
Oh yeah, his doctor. Yeah.
He's way cooler.
Not sure about. Yeah, he's very cool. Not sure about the nutrition, but he just has a brother who's a doctor, who's a vegan.
I love the video that he made. He was like, yeah, my brother, like, he's basically like, yeah, my brother's wrong. Like,
yeah.
He's saying it in the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
It's so mind blowing. It's like, I also look at it like this. I'm like, all right, you are a social media influencer. Like, that's what you do. And you've been okay with that for like however many years. I don't know how many years he's been on YouTube, but now you've been a vegan influencer for this long, and all of a sudden you're not going to be a vegan, and you're not going to give the reason why. But the whole rest of your life, you're okay with putting everything out there, like about your personal life.
Yeah, for sure.
But for the one reason, like this one reason, you're not gonna give an accurate explanation of what happened. Like,
because he doesn't have a reason.
Exactly, and it's just like, I don't know. I've heard rumors. Well, I don't even know if it's rumors, but I've heard that he signed with like a protein, like supplement company.
He
And
did
it's not,
switch.
yeah, like it has vegan options, but it's not like a vegan company. So my guess is that his views have probably been stale, and what better way to make a controversial YouTube video than I'm not vegan anymore.
But he lost a ton of followers though from that.
Yeah, he lost. I've been tracking. He lost like, I think it might have been like 15,000 on Instagram so far. Yeah.
Whoa.
So,
Wow. I unfollowed him.
I'm following him.
Yeah, I did.
But there's no reason for me to follow him.
Did you see the he commented on Nehemiah? I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Nehemiah Delgado's like
Yeah.
the smiley faces. I'm like, dude, this guy.
Smiley faces?
3 smiley like because he Nehemiah posted a picture of him like with 100-pound dumbbells. Obviously, like, he looked pretty ripped, and then he said something along the lines of like, been vegan my whole life, like vegan gain, something like that. I don't remember exactly what the caption was, but then you see Jon Venus post, or he said something along the lines of like, you don't need, like, never eaten meat, something like that. And then Jon Venus comments under it after he's made his announcement, like 3 like laughing smiley faces. I saw this because this was right before I unfollowed him, and like everyone was obviously like commenting on it, but he actually deleted the comment because I think he was getting so much hate. And I saw
How
that
did he do that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like,
I don't know.
how do you say that and then go on someone that was probably your friend, like our fellow influencer, and then like try to basically provoke them? It's like, I don't know, further exemplify that he's a piece of shit to me.
Yeah. I mean, you could see like what their like relationship is if they're still following each other. If they're not, then there's
Julian's
some
getting
bad
in
blood.
deep with the drama.
That's what I've been checking. I've been seeing like, people that were vegan that like he's been friends with, did like they unfollow each other.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, like, then there's some like bad blood happening. So.
Yeah, well, he said that point where he was like in his video saying that a lot of his vegan influencer friends like didn't want to associate with him anymore or something. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
Wait, did he say vegan influencers or just like regular
he just said
that
friends, but you know what he was talking about. Like,
Yeah.
He was definitely talking about like Derek Sinnett and Brian Turner and Nehemiah Delgado.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
guarantee you.
I thought he was talking about like how like friends that weren't vegan didn't want to associate with him because he was with like his vegan friend group. I must have completely got that wrong then.
No,
Yeah.
I've seen people interpret it that way too. I think it could go either way, but my first reaction was kind of like what you were saying, Ryan. I thought he was really saying like more of like the vegan friends didn't want to be associated with him anymore. But I can definitely see what you're saying, Julien, in the sense that people didn't want to associate with him from the beginning since he was vegan. So
Yeah.
But it's hard to interpret. I mean, the whole video is hard to interpret because it's just so stupid.
You just would think that someone who made their livelihood off of being like an influencer would be able to speak better than that.
Yeah.
He
brought up he literally brought up B12. I'm like, what is
when he said that, I was like, that's the stupidest argument. Like, like people that have been vegan just for like even like a few months, they know that like what do you say, like B12, like, I'm not happy with like getting B12 from a supplement. Like, animals get B12 from a supplement, and then you're getting it from the animal when you eat it. So you're indirectly, it's stupid. I'm like, what the?
When he said that, I was like, I literally went like this. I was like, what? I was like,
that's how you know it's a lie.
Yeah, wasn't he saying that you can't get B12 from the water supply anymore or something stupid?
About drinking water. I'm like, dude, we haven't done that since like the beginning of time.
Thousands of years.
Drinking pond water with soil in it, like It's 2020. Are you kidding?
He just seems really not smart.
Yeah. Yes. I can't. You have a vegan doctor brother,
Yeah.
and you're not about the studies. It's like, what do you mean? You have that you can get free advice from, and you don't have to you don't even have to pay them. They're a phone call or a text away.
Did you guys see the debate that between Vegan Gains and Jon Venus when he
months ago? Yeah, that last year. Yeah.
After he had the eggs in his fridge, he got called out on it.
Yeah, that was so bad.
He was like, dude, he tore him apart. It was actually painful.
Yeah.
He was like, dude, oh my gosh. Like it was like painful to watch.
Yeah.
Even the whole thing, like the main excuse about him not being sure, like he is a father, he's a dad. His whole thing about like not being sure about his child, like my sister she has a 7 and a 5-year-old, and like she's raised both of them vegan, and
awesome.
Both like they've been in the 90th percentile for like height and size, and my 7-year-old niece, she's like way farther developed than like everyone in her class, and it's just like there's no the studies are there to back up that a vegan diet's adequate for all like stages of life, and just the fact that he dropped that, I'm like, there's more studies disproving what you're saying than
he thought it was biased research.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no big broccoli, there's no big like plant company. Like, if anything, not if anything, it's completely the other way around. Like, there's literally no bias with vegan like anything.
Yeah, that was the stupidest point I ever heard.
Well, the thing is, he said that like he's not happy with he's like nervous about his kid being vegan, so he said that he can't be vegan as well. How does that make any sense?
I think that was the one point that he made in that whole video where people could like empathize a tiny bit there, and they were like, okay, if you really don't feel comfortable feeding your kid vegan, even though you should, you could still be vegan yourself.
Yeah, like, and then he's like, I don't feel comfortable with him like being vegan, so I'm not gonna be vegan as well. That doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't. I'm like, what? When he had said that, I was like, what?
And he was saying like the vegan community is toxic, but like the dude founded his whole entire like he grew so much as a vegan influencer. Like he didn't have that many followers before that. I think he was doing well, but like all of his followers came from being vegan pretty much.
Yeah, for sure.
So like of course they're gonna unsubscribe. Of course they're gonna be upset when he can't even give an excuse why he's like quitting plant-based diet, you know? Like quitting the vegan lifestyle. Like it doesn't make sense.
I wonder what he's gonna do now. I mean, he sucks. I wonder like who's gonna. I mean, the only thing that I can see is if he goes on like Dr. Shawn Baker's page or something.
Yeah,
like
the carnivores are gonna accept him with open arms.
Oh my god, that's the one I'm looking forward to, because it's just like
Severity.
Oh my god, yes, that guy is a lunatic.
It's so weird to think that there's this weird rivalry between like vegans and like, well, not rivalry, but there's this like tension when, I don't know, it's like the carnivore diet literally doesn't make any sense at all. It's like you would get scurvy if you actually just don't eat any plants at all. Like you wouldn't get vitamin C unless you supplement. I guess they could argue about the B12 thing, but like, dude, the Inuits who always have like they eat meat their whole life, they die at like age 35 from heart disease.
Yeah, they don't even see 40, and they half the time they die before the disease is even like fully developed. So it's like,
who could look at that? Who could look at that and be like, "Oh, that's a great idea to eat meat your whole life and die at 35 or 40." Like, you could look at that and be like, "Okay, this is clearly a bad diet."
It's because people just don't understand like what a caloric surplus and a caloric deficit is, and they're like, "Oh, I can just go on this bad diet and not eat carbs," and it's like,
yeah,
bad name, because people don't understand what a caloric deficit and what a caloric maintenance and what a caloric surplus is.
Yeah, I mean, for weight loss, man, like it's just like an extreme keto. Like they'll lose water at first. Like,
yeah.
It's not magic. It's just they're losing water, and then they're gonna plateau, or they're just gonna eat less from just eating only one food.
Yeah,
and
you're cutting
magic.
You're cutting out a whole macronutrient, and then you're eating the 2 macros that will keep you fuller for longer durations of time. So I mean, it works, but does it really work in terms of like health? Does it really work in terms of longevity? Absolutely not. And it's like, just when people argue it, I'm like, how? It completely baffles me.
My biggest pet peeve there is just like, okay, well, like there's no evidence about any health benefit. There's a lot of evidence about health detriments there. But the most important thing is like you're literally eating nothing but animals, dude. Like
Yeah.
you're destroying the
That's
environment
disgusting.
and you are just killing so many animals for no reason.
But they don't even really care about that. So, but like,
But
I don't
like
understand. I don't understand where they're coming from because there's no health benefits, and they.
exactly.
So I don't. Yeah, I just don't understand it.
It's
They
just
just want
going
to
against
piss off vegans.
I feel like they're all conspiracy theorists.
Yeah. I
They
mean,
might.
there was that guy that was drinking piss that thought the Earth was flat. Right? I forgot that guy's
I
name.
feel like they all believe the earth is flat. Like that's how stupid it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, the worst is when they make claims. I don't know if my friend, he's like an aspiring vegan, I'll say. Like, he really tries. He's been, like, the last year, he's really been not eating any meat, and he's kind of trying to transition. I've been helping him out a little bit, but he'll send me, like, snippets of, like, these weird carnivore pages on Instagram and, like, Shawn Baker posts. And
Oh,
it's, you know how they'll make, like, the fake, not a meme, but, like, they'll do the post, and it's, like, carnivore diet, and it's like improves skin, improves digestion health, all these like fake claims, and I'm like, does anyone really think any of this is true? And then you'll see people in the comment section, they're like, the carnivore diet saved my life, and I'm like, oh my, it's craziness. It really is.
I don't get it. Like I see that guy Jordan Peters. I know very little about this, but I've heard about Jordan Peterson from Vegan Gains videos, and he was on Joe Rogan. I don't really listen to Joe Rogan at all, but I just like saw that he was on there, and it's like a huge podcast. And Joe Rogan is all pro meat and stuff, but
Health,
I don't know, dude.
oh,
So dumb.
I feel like he's a bit more open, like Joe Rogan. Like he's a bit more open now, like than he was like a year or two ago.
I
After
watched. Yeah, yeah. The what was his name
the Game
from the Game
Changers guy,
Changers?
I forgot it.
James Wilkes.
Yeah, James was. Yeah,
He killed it on that.
yeah,
yeah,
he did.
Like I listened to all 4 hours of that because I was so entertained.
yeah.
Yeah. But my whole thing is with that, like, I know you just said that he's a little bit more open-minded now, Julien, but like
Mhm.
when that debate happened, and he literally he sat there, took all the criticism from Chris Kresser's previous episode, debunked it claim by claim, made Chris Kresser look like basically questioned everything about Chris Kresser, which I thought was hilarious.
I loved it.
Debunked every single claim he made. And then he goes carnivore after, while in the interview, Joe Rogan's like, oh yeah, like,
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was, yeah.
like,
Uh,
why do that? Like, did you really just not listen to this 3-hour podcast that you just had with this guy that basically debunks your right-hand man in terms of nutrition? Like, that's the only thing. I think Joe Rogan's entertaining, and I think he's a good podcaster, but
mm.
I don't know, something like that. For that really rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, how do you go from listening to this to then doing like the polar opposite? Like, I don't know. I still listen to him though. I don't listen to every episode, but if he has someone that's entertaining, I'll listen to it. It just, I think that's like the whole carnivore in a diet in a nutshell, though. Like, you just get people that do that diet, like they do it sporadically, and then they get like a decent amount of results, and then they're like, "Oh, yep, carnivore. Like, this is my new way of life," and it's just, I don't know.
Yo, I love do you guys know who that dude Shawn Baker is?
Oh
Yeah.
God.
He put out like his blood test results and he's
Oh
trying to
wait,
justify everything. And he was pre-diabetic and had the testosterone levels of like an 80-year-old man.
yeah.
What a jackass.
I think I saw like a video on that. It was just like, oh, like his blood tests were like terrible, right?
Yeah,
And everything.
dude.
Yeah.
Like he was like, oh no, like my testosterone level is only that low because my androgen receptors are so much stronger. It's like, okay, dude. All right. If you say so.
Why would you even put that out? Like, if you know that people are just gonna completely eat it up, like,
I know that's what.
it's so funny that, of course, like, he has an excuse for everything. It's like your testosterone's not even at the levels of like a 12-year-old girl, and he's making an excuse. Blood is, and you're like, oh yeah, it's because I'm not eating enough meat. Like, it's just such stupidity. Like, I really don't understand it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he's like, how could how could that be true about my testosterone levels? Because I'm deadlifting like over 500 pounds with a trap bar.
Yeah, the
Right,
trap.
man. That obviously clears it up.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Like I feel like ex-vegans are like worse than people that were never vegan.
Because they feel like they wanna debunk veganism at that point. I think
Yeah, that's the thing. because like they want to debunk veganism and like they know what they're going back to because they've been vegan. So it's just like I don't know. Yeah, I feel like they're just worse than just like people that were never vegan because most people that were never vegan just aren't informed.
Hmm.
So
They have to be hypocrites because they already learned about all of the moral reasons for going vegan, which are, and especially Jon Venus. That dude was
exactly,
like,
yeah, him
saying,
especially.
yeah, he was saying he was vegan for the animals, and he's just gonna go back and eat. Why? Who knows what he's gonna eat? I really hope he doesn't go back to eating like a bunch of meat and stuff, like a carnivore diet thing.
I feel like that's what he's gonna
But
do to appeal to like the carnivore section of YouTube.
I
that's
feel
not
And
big though, is it?
I don't know how big it is, but like he could like gain a couple thousand followers that he lost from there.
I think it's pretty big too. Like, I don't know if you guys know who Mark Bell was, but like that was like a huge
Yeah.
reason. Like,
That guy's an idiot too.
yeah, and like, dude, I unfollowed him on everything. I even like I use his sleeves because I think they're good product, like the knee sleeves. But like
Yeah.
everything that guy says now, it's just all promotion for like, oh, read my book, like War
Yeah.
on Carbs, just all like, oh, put more meat in your mouth, and that was a
Mhm.
huge reason why I had to unfollow him because I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
Not even about even his podcast. It's not even about working out anymore. It's about business, which I think is great. But then the other half of the time, it's about like meat, and he'll bring on only it's completely biased because he only brings on
Mm.
like animal or
Hunters.
diet doctors, things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. It's
Hmm.
like it's so annoying.
I almost didn't buy. I really wanted to get the slingshot for so long time, but I never bought it because I just disliked him so much, and I disliked his whole brand. I thought he was
I
really like sleazy with everything. I eventually bought it because I tried like a knockoff and it broke right away. I tried the double bands, or not the. I tried the bands like crisscrossed over my elbows, and that sucked. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna get it.
Yeah.
So I gave the guy $60. Feel bad about it.
It's all good. I get you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. What else? What else should we touch on here? I feel like we talked about a lot of stuff already. I don't want to keep you guys too long because I know it's already like I'm totally down to keep talking, but if you guys have to go, don't feel bad.
I mean, trying to think what else did we not touch on?
I
I mean,
don't.
there's a ton of other like fitness influencers and stuff. I feel like it's fun stuff to talk about, but yeah, I don't know. What's that, Cade?
No, the only thing I was gonna say, you were talking about it earlier, the whole Jon Venus thing going plant-based or going like not being vegan anymore. I actually watched this small channel. They're called The Annoying Vegans. I don't know if you guys have ever watched them. I only watched them because I was trying to figure out like I was basically researching like vegan cat food and seeing like if that was a possibility.
Oh,
Long story short, I found out it's not a good
no. Well,
option.
well, the thing is, well, we could touch on this. Like, I guess like vegan like dog food and like vegan pet food in general.
This is a
Because
big gray area for all vegans. Yeah, we should definitely
Yeah,
talk about
that's a
yeah.
good point.
Yeah, so like there is vegan dog food, but like a few weeks back, I don't know if you know Dom's Thompson
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Mm-mm.
So like he did an interview with like I guess uh I guess he's a doctor, like a veterinarian that works for uh a vegan dog food company like uh Wild Earth. I think that's what the brand's called.
Okay.
But he was saying that yeah, it is possible to have it's possible to have vegan dog food, but like nobody's really sure about cat food exactly.
Yeah.
But
That's
he
what
was
I
saying
heard.
that but he was saying that it actually is possible and they're working on it right now. So and he was like giving all of like the science to like back it, but like on the market right now there really isn't like a solid vegan cat food. I think there's like one or two, but like ones that are like actually solid that he actually agrees with
Mhm.
aren't really on the market. But yeah, I didn't think it was possible to have like vegan cat food, but apparently it is.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the video that I watched by those people, it's I was like looking it up and they basically went over like the whole digestive tract of the cat. They broke down the science, which is pretty interesting because
Yeah.
not well versed in that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But they were talking about how, like you were saying, for dogs, I guess it is possible because I guess dogs can and are omnivorous. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what they were.
That's what I heard too.
Cats are obligate carnivores, so they like are only supposed to eat like a high protein diet and minimal carb. And I guess that cats are like domesticated cats, which is what everyone has now, were from like a breed of cats from like Egypt or some part of the world where they basically protected farmers' wheat crops and like fruits, vegetables, all other crops from being infested with like mice. So the cats that used to protect these fields would only eat mice, and like that's what their food was. And that's what the cats that we have now are domesticated from. And there were so many things that they touched on. Another thing was like the cats are supposed to get majority of the water they eat through like the meat that they eat. So when you give them like dry food, for example, they're not getting that. Why they need water, like water bowls and things like that. But they're also talking about all the common diseases that occur in cats, and that's as a result of like the food that's on the market now. So they were saying like they're vegan, but I guess they give their cats like a carnivore diet, which is disgusting to me. But I'm kind of at like I give my cat dry food now, but my cat has like a couple, like not crazy, but he has FIV and he's got like a couple of health problems, and I definitely want him to like live a long. He's only two or three, they guess, but obviously want my cat to live a long, prosperous life. And it's hard for me because I don't want to apply the same set of morals that I have onto an animal that can't necessarily share that same set of morals and might not be the healthiest option. So I'm at like a weird point where I'm like, I don't really know what I should do. So,
dude, yeah, that's a great point, man. I totally agree with everything you said, actually. Like, this is kind of also, you can relate this back to the whole Jon Venus thing with his kid. It's like, okay, his kid can't pick what diet to choose for moral reasons yet because the kid is like, what, 2 years old? But like, why could he still not eat vegan? It's the same thing with a cat. It's like, well, a cat doesn't have the moral agency that humans do. And we know that we can live healthy on a plant-based diet. Like, we're omnivorous, opportunistic omnivores is a good term that I've heard before. And we can eat fine. Like, we do great on a plant-based diet, but we can also choose that for ourselves. But giving a cat a plant-based diet and having to like monitor the cat's like urine pH and stuff, like the acidity, and making sure they're getting taurine and stuff all the time, like that is really difficult, and you could kill a cat. I mean, it's really risky. So I'm totally with you on that. Like, I think my girlfriend feeds her cat. Well, it's our cat, but she had her before we moved in together or anything. So she feeds the cat like, I think it's like plant-based food with salmon or something. And it's, she kind of decided it's a better option than just like, remnants of a cow or whatever. For, I mean, what can you really do? So she decided fish was a little better of an option, at least, trying to do the best you can. It's a shitty gray area. It's like, you can either and we've been kind of weird about it. Like, we're like, well, when the cat dies, like, would we ever get another one? I don't know. She was basically a rescue. So you're saving the cat's life, but it's a tricky question.
Like what your set of morals are, but that's what's so tough too. Like for me, I've always had a pet. Like I had I don't know if you guys know what prairie dogs are, but I have 3 older sisters, and like they have all brought home the craziest pets, from like hamsters to prairie dogs to obviously like numerous cats and dogs. It's like for me, it's kind of hard to imagine a life without a pet, but at the same time, like I want a pet to live a long, prosperous, healthy life, and I feel like I just applied like my set of morals. It's immoral to do that, but at the same time, it's just like you're buying an animal product, which is like what you go against. So it is definitely a shitty gray area that I feel like not enough people talk about. But I think in order to provide your pet the best life possible, you kind of have to do what's proven to be successful. But I don't know. I've been looking into this. I mean, I don't want to do it, but I've been looking. The Happy Healthy Vegan channel people were talking about like they were talking about how you could just basically give them a raw, like a carnivore diet. But for me, I'm like, I can't buy something and like cut it up. Like that's just completely against everything that I stand for and like want. But they're talking about like dry freeze food that's like from birds and like mice, and basically more along like what a cat would eat if it was not like domesticated, but all cats now are domesticated, so it's kind of like a weird, I don't know, it's like a weird area, and I'm trying to figure out what the best kind of way to remedy that is, but we're gonna try every day.
I mean, I saw like the video that I watched like a few weeks ago, they were saying like 5 to 10 years from now, like the pet food industry could like change a bit, where like there'll be more plant-based options. Like I don't have a cat or a dog, so like I wouldn't know exactly what you guys are going through, but just yeah, but like this has always been on my mind with just like vegan, like well, just like feeding dogs and cats vegan food, not any meat, but I think dogs, like it's like at a all right kind of place with like plant-based options, but like cats, it still has like I think a bit of ways to go. But but the thing that I found out a few weeks ago is that like it's actually possible, which I didn't think was possible at all. So it's like interesting.
It's tough because I feel like the whole pet food industry is no different from like the normal food industry for people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We just talk about how everything that you can buy on the shelf is like sludge and it's shit from what people don't want to eat from like the animal products that you see on the shelf. So I mean, it's tough. It really is such a weird area, but it's, if you have pets, you can't really avoid it. So it just grosses me out having to think about like buying something that is like in product. It's just, it sucks.
You know what's something that might be possible in the future with this whole clean meat movement, like lab grown meat?
Yes.
They could probably make, you know, more environmentally friendly, more morally friendly food for animals at least. And for humans, obviously, which I think that's going to be amazing for just animals in general, not dying as much, not being raised in terrible situations.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if they could do that, that really would change the whole dynamic of like the food industry itself.
I think it's the next step.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever like eat it though, just because I went vegan for like health reasons. Well, I went for animals, but like health is like a close second. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be like, I'm definitely, I 100% support it. Like, I think it's the next step forward I think it's what's kind of needed for the whole world to go like against factory farming and animal agriculture. But I don't think I would ever have a desire to eat it. The one thing that I'd be curious about is like, it'd be kind of cool to do a test and just be like, okay, like vegan lifter eats clean meat for like, that's what they're calling it, right? Clean meat, lab grown meat.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I hear lab grown meat, but
okay, so it'd be kind of cool to see an experiment of like a vegan lifter adding meat to their diet for like 3 or 6 months, like the lab grown meat, and seeing if it makes any difference, and it won't. So it could just debunk it right there, right? Anecdotally, but still.
Yeah.
My question is, like, I know that they could replicate it, but I wonder if like the content itself would be the same. Like, I'm sure there has to be, I mean, I don't know anything about it, but I wonder like a chicken breast versus a lab grown chicken breast in terms of the actual contents would be. I mean, it is just like a slab of protein basically, but I don't know. I wonder if they really will taste the same, if it like will have the same kind of texture and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be able to do it. I mean, they've been like replicating human body parts, so why not animal parts?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. They've been like growing mouse livers and stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, science is insane, man.
I
really do think that's the future though. Like I really hope that happens in the next like 5 years, and because it sucks. Like we're considerate enough to actually like go vegan and everything, but a lot of people just aren't willing to make that change for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because they just love meat too much. And I feel like that's the only way some people will change.
I agree.
Yeah. There's one other thing I want to talk about really quick, just because I've been seeing a lot of videos about it, and I kind of mentioned it to Cade before you joined the chat, Julien.
Mm.
But the whole thing with Athlean-X and the fake weights.
Oh,
Did
yes.
you catch any of that?
Yeah, no, I've been keeping up with that. So.
I think it's a really good point, because it's a really good point to touch on, because someone who's like his level of body fat, like what is he, like 6% body fat, like year round or something?
Probably something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like you just can't, as a natural lifter, like assuming he's natural, whatever, you can't be lifting that much weight that lean. And it kind of, I was really thinking about it, I was like, this is actually pretty misleading for someone who's like a natural lifter to be showing that they can put up 3 plates on a pin press for reps, or like deadlift 500 pounds for reps.
Close grip too.
Was it close?
Close grip with like no elbow flare, and it's like his like chest is barely even moving. It's like, oh my god.
If you see the way the weight's moving, you can clearly tell that was like 185.
Yeah, I was looking at Vegan Gains video about that. It's just like the way it was moving, it was unnatural. Like you could tell that it was lighter weight than what he was actually using, what was actually being shown. So.
I mean, you even look at elite like power guys. Even like if you look at Russell Orhe, like the way he benches 315, he can't bench 315 like that. Like, and he maxes like over 400 pounds. Like it's just
exactly. So
it's just so like I don't know. It's so it kind of goes back to what we were talking about with like the steroids. Like it's one thing when people like say they're not natural but then claim natural. It's the same thing with weight. It's like it's one thing if he was lifting that for a demo and didn't say anything. Like even that's slightly deceptive, but it's the point that like even on the 500-pound deadlift, he's like, all right guys, here I am, I'm gonna go demonstrate how to deadlift 500 pounds. It's like, dude, no you're not. Like I was telling Ryan earlier that the Vegan Gains video shows him struggling with like 2 plates.
So
like or rep 500 for 3 at 6% body fat. That makes sense.
I'm like 90% sure what he was deadlifting there was actually 315.
Yeah, probably.
Because I was looking at the plates, there's 2 that look like the ones in the pin press video. And like, dude, if you can deadlift 315, 6% body fat, that's cool. Like, good for you. Like, it's misleading to say you can be natural and 6% body fat and deadlifting that much weight.
Yeah.
And it actually kind of, this is actually really weird, but I was thinking about it before those videos popped out. Because I remember watching that video from years ago. And I remember him deadlifting, like saying it was 495. And I was like, yo, how is this guy so strong and that shredded and not on steroids? Like, this does not make sense. Like, why can't I do that and be 6% body fat? And like, it seriously got in my head. And I was like, dude, I want to be able to deadlift that much and be that lean. That's crazy.
I don't know. Like, I feel like this just like lowered his respect level a ton, because he's been just like a chill guy that nobody really has had any problems with, but like this came up and I don't know, he's just like misleading everybody, and I don't know. I lost respect a bit for him. So
I totally did too, and I thought he was just gonna not respond, which would have been like the best decision.
Wait, he did respond? I didn't look at any of the things he said.
He only wrote a comment on that dude Greg Doucette's video. That was it. And his comment was like, he only talked about Greg Doucette calling him out for not being natural, which was super weird. He was like, Greg Doucette was like, okay, considering that he's actually been caught faking weights, I think there's maybe a chance that he's actually on TRT. And if someone put a gun to my head and made me decide, I would say that he's actually on TRT and not natural. What's his name? Athlean-X or whatever wrote him back and was like, all right, I'll fly you out to where I am, and you can pick any drug test you want and do it. And if I lose, like, I have to shut my YouTube page down and pay you $1 million. And if you lose, then you have to close your YouTube page, and that's it, or something. Yeah. And it was just so weird.
I can't picture him saying that, but
I know.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you should have just not responded at all.
I know. Especially he's like the top. He is the top fitness page on YouTube. So
yeah.
Vegan Gains.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, man.
Oh no, sorry. I was just gonna say Vegan Gains. That video, I feel like he describes the whole situation perfectly, because he's like, all right, well, you know, I guess Greg Doucette has like a felony charge or something, trying to smuggle. Yeah. So he can't leave. I think he's in Canada. He can't leave. And then also he's like, yeah, he's also not going to fly right now because he can't even legally fly from Canada to the U.S. to do that. So no, he's basically like trying to make it look like he's challenging him when he knows the outcome of the situation can't.
Oh.
So.
Hmm.
And he's a smart guy too, so he definitely knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, whatever he was on, he could just get off it, and it would just probably not show up in any test. So, if he was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a ton of fitness. I think even Simeon Panda like took like a drug test and put a video on YouTube like years ago. He's like, yeah, see, I'm natural. Like people
It was
could
like a lie detector test,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
That's what I
was
heard.
it? I don't even remember, but like people could like fake that shit or just like get off it and like come out so it looks like they're natural. So
Yeah. There's definitely genetic freaks out there. Like, I actually genuinely believe that dude Russell Orhe is natural.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
that's just my opinion. I think the dude literally has like 0.01% genetics, though. Like, that is he looks like he's a bodybuilder who can like a legit bodybuilder who can bench like what 450 or something and like deadlift 7 something. It's insane.
Teron F. Beckham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he might actually be natural.
Yeah.
I saw him in person, dude.
Oh wait, yeah. I think you mentioned that. Yeah.
I saw him at a Comic-Con in New York, and the dude was jacked. He was definitely jacked. And him and there was like some other guy on YouTube called like Goku Flex or something. I think he made videos a while. I don't know if he still makes videos, but I saw him there too. What was that?
No, I was just gonna say I remember him. I think I used to watch him.
I ran into that guy twice in the city. One time at the convention, the Comic-Con convention, and one time at Trader Joe's. And he was at Trader Joe's, and I was like, dude, like, he just looked like your average guy. Like, I don't know. I was like, oh, I thought this guy was gonna be like bigger or taller, and he was actually like super short and kind of stocky. I don't know, because he looked like super shredded in the videos. So it was just funny running into him at a Trader Joe's.
Like, are you that YouTube guy?
Yeah, I didn't say anything to him because he was in front of me in line, and I kept looking at him and was like, yo, is that really him? And it was. And he was walking out the store with like his girlfriend or something. And I kind of wanted to go up to him and be like, yo, dude. But I didn't.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. You guys want to I don't know, anything else we should talk about, or should we call it? It's 9 o'clock now here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Long, but
It's been a good conversation though.
definitely.
That's on a ton of things. So
Yeah, I think we just need to sum this up by saying Jon Venus is an idiot. That's it.
Fuck Jon Venus.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
He's gonna
Don't
end up.
listen to John.
He'll end up on a carnivore YouTube channel, guaranteed.
No, yeah, he will.
I'll say within this month, by the end of July, he'll be on like. You'll see it'll be like ex-vegan goes carnivore. Life feels great. His son is healthy. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, YouTube thumbnail.
Yeah.
He puts such clickbaity shit on his channel. So like, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You guys follow Vegan Community on Instagram?
No.
He what?
Vegan
yeah, I follow it.
Page. They didn't. It was so funny. I like went to. I don't know if you guys saw my story. I basically like was just calling him out. I was like, "Fuck Jon Venus," and then I commented like I DM'd them. I'm like, because they were still following him. I'm like, "Yo, you guys know that like Jon Venus isn't vegan anymore," and they actually responded, which I thought was super funny because they have 800,000 followers, or maybe even close to 1 million at this point.
Yeah.
But then I said something like I tagged them, I think, in my story, and then they were like, "What?" ? And then I was
really?
like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "Oh, Jon Venus isn't vegan." I was like, "And you guys are still following him." I was like, "You should probably hit that unfollow button." And then they were like, "Let me check." And then I checked like an hour later, and they unfollowed him. I thought it was so funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What he gets.
Yeah.
That's great, dude. All right, cool. Yeah, let's call it, I guess.
All right.
So you guys want, for anyone who actually watched this whole thing, do you guys want to say where people can find you on social media?
Yeah. So You could follow me at PlantSformed on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram, plant-based pumps.
Sweet. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm just gonna end the recording now, and yeah, thanks for watching.